A very good morning to you. Welcome to Life and Style. I am Chris J. Atemo, your host on Relationship Wednesdays. Today we're going to have a real man talk right over here on Mandate. You know, we always begin with the men on Mandate, and then we get the ladies coming on retake. Then we have Crystal Okusa coming on with Style My Wife, Style My Hubby. So the ladies are already here. Hi, ladies. Yeah, they're already here. We've got two ladies who are waiting to talk to us about what we're going to talk about right now, which is absentee fathers. We want to talk about absent fathers. You know, there's so much talk about the impact of fathers being absent, men having run away, and we're going to get to hear from the men and then later on from the ladies what they think about that. But remember to keep the conversation going with us on the social media platforms at KTN_Life_Style. That is both for Instagram and Twitter. KTN Life and Style on Facebook. 22840 is our text message number. Then the hashtag is KTN Life and Style. I've got two gentlemen sitting with me right over here. I'm the only one who doesn't have glasses. But, well, we'll flow with them. Kindly introduce yourself. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Well, my name is Weli Odendo, and I'm a corporate trainer.
All right.
Author, pastor.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
I'm Eric Bingas, motivational speaker and a pastor.
All right. Absentee fatherism.
Hey.
What's that?
Well, it just... I think it's something that maybe the ladies had to coin to explain where their husbands are to their children. So they called us absentee fathers, where I know your father, but he's not present in my life. And maybe the problem comes from a fragmentation of relationship and realization of a new responsibility.
Okay.
So maybe that is where the problem will begin. The relationship between the man and the woman is not strong enough to carry a child through. And the responsibility added on the man that now you have got to take two roles. Now you're not just only husband, you're also father. So I think it starts there.
All right.
Yep.
So all this English you have spoken, who is an absent father?
So an absent father is just, it's simply a person, a father, a man who has a child who is not participating in the development of that particular child.
Okay. Is there a difference between absent fathers and what society calls deadbeat fathers? Is there a difference?
There may be a small difference based on how there are people who are absent because of work. Maybe you are working, maybe you are posted overseas and moving the family could not be possible. So you have to be absent because of work.
All right.
But deadbeat are those fathers who are within the neighborhood or the vicinity but are not participating in the development of the children that they have with a wife.
Which is deliberate, right?
Which is deliberate. It's deliberate. It's intentional.
All right. Eric, what's the impact? What's the effect of an absent father?
You see, first of all...
or how important is the presence of a father? Let's start with that.
It's very important for a father to be there, to be present, because, you know, a father gives assurance. A father gives protection. Yeah, that's why you find when a child is angry, they will run to the mother. When a child is scared, they will go to the father. So I think it is very important for a father to be present, in the child's life.
So they bring in a sense of security.
Yeah, security, assurance.
So in the absence of the father, what you're saying is in the absence of a father, children grow up insecure.
Yeah, you see...
is that a reality or a myth?
It's a reality.
It's a reality because, you see, in the absence of a father, the child will still grow, but there's some things that child will miss. That's why you see, if you find a child who has grown up with a father and the mother, both parents together, and one who grew up maybe with the mother alone, there is some sense of security. That child is very strong, they're very focused, but there is the one who grew up without both parents, you'll find there's that fear in them.
Well, there's the several women who are raising children by themselves.
Yes.
And some of them have done a great job
Yes.
in raising up very confident children. What are they lacking, those children? What are they lacking? The absence of a father. So what is it?
In the case where you find a woman has done a good job with a child, you'll notice that either this woman introduced figures, male figures, to act as fathers to this child.
All right.
Or she had to maybe expose herself to people who will train her to think like a father, which sometimes women learn better. They think like fathers. In unfortunate scenarios where a death occurs and a parent is lost, and whenever a mother is lost, you'll see that family almost remains together and they break through. But if the man is left with the children, it's like it immediately disintegrates, because I think for a child, love must be twofold. It must be affectional and directional.
All right.
The mother brings the affectional love, which helps in giving the child a sense of warmth, a sense of peace, a sense of a home belonging. The father brings directional, which brings a sense of vision, a sense of purpose, a sense of identity, a sense of order. So when these two are not together, if love is only affectional, at some point this child will become unbearable, because they'll go into a world demanding love and they're not doing anything that is lovely or lovable.
All right.
Yeah.
Who is affected the most in the absence of a father? Is it the girl child? Is it the boy child?
I think both.
Both.
Both, but mostly the boy child. Because, a son takes the DNA of the father. A son takes the DNA of the father. When whatever the son sees you do, that's what he will grow up to be. He wants to be like you. So I think it affects the boy more.
Because there's no model? There's nothing to model his future?
Yeah, who he wants to be, someone he's looking up to. So that's why you find he's trying to figure out.
But what about in the cases of the girl? How are they affected?
You see, the girl mostly, I say, a girl will treat the man who she will later meet in life based on how she saw the father treat the mother. So in this case, if the father is not there in the girl's life, she will still grow, but there are also some security. There are also some of those things I will discuss with my daughter. I will tell her, when you grow up, you need to do this. You need to treat men this way. This is how you grow up to be responsible. So you see, these are some of the things she will miss when she grow up.
Welly, let me stay on how the girl relates to the absence of a father. Does it affect how she relates with the men coming in? It
eventually affects her, because their choice of a man will be determined by the choice their mother made of a man. Because for all their life, they are living their mother's choice. Women grow up in the house, see how the mother does things, and then they learn to do that. The choice of the man they choose, so they will either create an anti-men or a very loose openness towards men, because the choice of the mother will really influence what she will choose as a woman. So that is the first and the most important, and I think the most potent thing, effect of an absent father. I believe my daughter, when she grows old, she'll always try to rate the men by this. Hey, naweza mpeleka home. Father akimit. Maybe mother wampoa, but father akimit, because the father will always ask important questions. Not, where did you shave? Where do you get your nini? No, they'll ask important questions. Who are you? What are you doing? Where do you come from? What do you do apart from just coming here to see my girl? Oh, so the fathers will try to expand this conversation. So the girl is always wondering, can this boy I want, meet this man? So if that man is not there, she will just take anything that is available, or she will have to settle for what her mother always brought home.
Is it true, again, still staying on the ladies, I'll come to the men, but is it true that when girls have grown up without their fathers, that sometimes then they look for a father figure in a relationship?
Yes. Yes.
Is that true?
It's the first effect, because that void, and this is what happens to many of us, is that by the time, especially we men, womanhood, I think even the body of a woman is very complex. So they learn womanhood by body management. By the time they are 12, 14, just managing a woman's body is like managing a factory. It just makes you a woman.
Oh, God.
But manhood, the first day you discover you are a man, is either your boys will tell you, say, have you ever done this? Those are the things we rate. Have you ever done this? Have you ever done this? So we as men, we find that when a woman has not been relating well with a man, she'll find that she was preparing herself for a role that she does not even know how to play in the first place. So when she dates, she will now start being her mother, who was a wife to somebody else, not a wife to the husband that they are with.
All right. And what about with the boys? Because for the girls, that will play out in relationships mostly. What about for the boys, Eric? What are those things that might happen to a boy who grew up without a father?
A boy who grows up without a father, there are some things he will be missing. First of all, you'll find the way they behave, the way they talk, they cannot make a decision and stick to it and stick by it and say, this is what I want, this is what I'll be doing. There's some cases I'm dealing with where some of the single parents bring me their boys. They say, this boy, the way he's behaving, the way he's talking, he likes pink. He's going that direction.
And let me just stay right there. What is that crucial stage, especially for the boy, for their father, to be in their life? Is it teenage? Is it when they're getting into their 20s? These single mothers, at what stage do they really feel like we need a man in the life of this boy?
Most of the cases I'm dealing with is from the teenage.
Okay.
Yeah, from the teenage, whereby it's now trying to discover now, is now saying now, I'm a boy, I'm a man.
Yeah.
This is what I should be doing. This is how I should be doing it. So I think, to answer your question, I think the father should be there all through.
Okay.
Father should always be there. Start treating them when they're still young. Start talking to them, how they should be a man, how they should grow, how they should talk, how they should behave, how they should treat other people.
All right.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking, you know, if most people deal with that stage, is it very easy for that boy to become rebellious?
Right.
You know, how do they handle authority later in life?
Actually, the biggest fragmentation that happens to a man is they will not know how to handle authority.
Right.
So they get into chaos, disorder. A man will find identity either through the father in the house or through the teacher in the class or through the gang leader in the streets. Because the father is absent, he will take it to the classroom. When he goes to the classroom, he'll find maybe the most appealing teacher does not have enough classes or personal time with him.
All right.
And so he will take it to the streets. And so the street guy, he's always there. So he begins to shape how he sees women, how he sees the world, how he sees people, how he sees government, how he sees education. And that's why most of our men currently are being mentored by the streets, because the father is absent. They went to school. The teacher who could maybe give them just information could not shape their identity, because you can't shape identity without authority.
All right.
And for you to be authoritative, they need something in you that they really admire.
Right,
so
right.
they take it to the streets. So when they get to the streets, they find this guy who bangs the guitar. He has the gold chain, he has the gold rings, the chilets over there are all over him. So this girl boy thinks like, this boy has something that I want. I want girls to love me like they love this kajama. I want.
Are we attracted to power?
Yeah, we are attracted to power.
Yeah.
Being man is full power. If you don't have power, you can't be a man.
So if they don't see power in another man, then there's nothing to admire.
There's nothing to admire.
Could that be the reason why then some fathers are present absent?
Yeah, because you know the Bible. I'll quote the Bible tells the woman to submit, but they have to submit to something.
That's true.
So when they come and the man is spineless, the guy, the wife has to motivate him. Hey, job, tafuta. So this mama has got to make this guy dream, and this is where the women actually go wrong. By the time these men are absent, the guy was a fragmented, broken, purposeless person in the first place. But the only thing he had is a beautiful goatee like yours or some hot dashing specs like this guy. And so this girl says, I think this guy, I love him. So they start dating with something very loose and shallow. The man was not purposeful. So this guy, unamwambia nimepata ball. The guy goes like, Sami unataka nidu. Unashangaa, pia mimi nashangaa, si ni mtoi wako. Ami siko ready. The guy shares. So you create now a vacuum in that child's life, because from the word go, you chose wrongly.
But it is possible also for fathers to be in the house and they're absent.
Yes.
Eric.
Yeah, it is. Especially nowadays when we are very busy. We have men who are very busy out there. They are in their house, but they are very absent. They are not involved in the kid's life. They say, and if you ask them, they say, but I'm looking for money. I'm working hard to give them a good life. You see, even after giving them the good life, you still have to be present in their life.
Yeah.
You still have to know, did you do your homework? How is it? How is life? How was your day today? Spend time, create time to spend time with your family. Be there for your family. Know what's going on in your children's life. How was school today? Yeah. These are some of the things you need to discuss with them. I have a son. My son is 4 years old. I spend time with him. Every time I try, I go back home early. And if I don't see him, if I get home and he's already asleep, I have to wake up early and ask him, how was school yesterday? How are you doing? You need to be present in your child's life.
Yeah.
Because it is very possible also to be present in their house, but you're not present in their lives.
Because I see that, I'll speak the truth. Sometimes I'm a culprit. We're going for the school events. We're going for the school events, and I'm over there. I feel like I need to be doing other stuff, and so I am there, but not very, very. Is it because some of us never really went through the process? So we don't know how to give it because we didn't receive it.
Didn't receive it,
Yeah.
Like us, our parents, my dad is a very applied, very focused, and is very goal-oriented. So he made me to be very goal-oriented. And so when you tell me, kesho kuna sports ya mtoi, nauliza, how am I involved? You are paying. Alafu naambia, you come and cheer. Now, I never saw my dad coming to cheer me in anything. And you're in many contests. So you're always asking, so what's the goal?
Yeah.
So how will that go? So we have never been made to realize the soft needs of a child are equally important as presence, as focus. One of the things I try to do always with my son is to ask him, who is your best friend? Because I know I'll have to fight for who is your best friend, who is your current friend, who have you made today? Because if I see a behavior change, there's somebody who will introduce it. So I'm always asking, that's the present thing that I always try to be aware of. Who is your best friend? And he tells me so and so. Who is your best friend? If I see a new name has changed, then I now start asking, I now start looking out the window to see who is this guy who has attracted now my son, because I know exactly he's being attracted to something.
All right.
Yeah.
Which is a key thing that you're talking about, like the behavioral change. Because sometimes when you are physically present and you're mentally absent, you don't even notice that the child is changing. I know my son, one of my sons, at one point, he became very withdrawn. So he would just go into the room and he wants to be on gadgets. And if he's not in the room with the gadgets, he's out with his friends. So he wouldn't even play with his brother. And so we had to have a tough talk with him. I told him, look, you belong to this family. You understand? So you got to connect with your brother. You got to spend time with us. You need to talk to us, unless you don't belong to this house. It's so easy to lose them, right?
Yeah, it's very easy.
At that particular stage, it's so easy to lose him because you think you got your son over here. Then you hear him when he's 20 saying, my father was not there.
Well, you're wondering, what is this guy talking about? The food is eaten in my house all those years.
Who's supposed to teach the boys how to, I'm just going on with it, but who's supposed to teach the boys how to tie their shoes? What are we supposed to tell them about dating and relationship? Because men sometimes are not very communicative. We just think, well, he'll find his way.
I think for me, and I would say, the most important lesson you can teach a boy child is autonomy. How to remain autonomous in any setting so that you can be able to keep off the contaminants of either peer pressure, rejection, and all these things. Because I find that we've created such an assimilative culture that people, our son wants to bond and be part of those boys. And so they easily get into a room, they take the color of the room. And that's why we feel that we can't trust our children with freedom. And so I think for me, the most important lesson that I can teach my child, more than how to tie his shoe, and is just to remain this, you have to be autonomous. Even in the presence of a girl who wants to do anything with you, you have to be autonomous. You have to always know that at the end of the day, I am not a behavior, I am a person. I can make a decision, a conscious decision at every point, and which is the hardest thing, because every single day they come and tell you now, last week I had my son, my wife had bought them a cartoon there, and then now he comes and says, now I want a program called Boss Baby, and you're thinking, now where did he learn that? I've not even heard of it. So no, what's Boss Baby? To the cartoon, I saw it at so it's as if they want to equalize you. They go to somebody's house, they see a PlayStation, they come back. I want also a PlayStation because kwa kina nani uniambia nisiende. So just teaching them how to be autonomous, that hey, you don't need to have everything you see at so and so's house.
That's right.
And you don't need to behave the way people behave at so and so's house.
Okay.
In our house, when you're talking to an elder, you call them sir, you put your hands behind. That's how we talk in this house. And you must appreciate as our culture and embrace it. It's difficult, but because you go out there, they lose everything you teach them. It's as if they go out there, nobody's teaching this other than budako ni mtiaji.
Okay.
And also to add to what Pasia said, also I tell men, we have to, for those men, those parents who are present, we have to lead by example. How do we treat people in the house when these kids are watching?
Right.
How do we talk to the house girl? What do we watch when we are with them? How do you talk to the mother? Because I tell parents this, anything you don't like in your child's life, correct it in you.
Okay.
Because most probably is learning it from you. So you
Alright.
can also be present in their life, but the way you do things, you're not a good role model. You're not a good example.
Okay.
So also you need to change how you do things. You need to assure them that this is how things are done. By example, yes, do it, then they will do it. But if you all talk and your action are different, we are going to have a problem there.
Okay.
Yes.
So your thoughts, and I'll just take them as your wrapping thoughts. So your thoughts are that the man has got to model
Yes.
what he wants his children
Yes.
to be.
Yes.
And not just you're giving certain rules and then you're the first one to break
Yes.
the rules.
You don't tell them, please, daddy, don't watch this. And then when you come back home, the same thing you told them not to do, that's what you're doing.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your wrapping thoughts, Wally.
I would say that absentee fathers, it begins somewhere. It begins with a choice, a wrong choice.
All right.
Either the choice of the couple or the choice of the man himself. And whatever has been caused by choice can be corrected by choice.
Great.
Yes.
All right. Whatever has been caused by choice can be corrected by choice. That's the wrapping thought on Mandate, but we're quickly coming back to Retake, where the ladies will join us. We talk about the effect of the absentee fathers. We want to hear what the ladies have got to say about that. Keep the conversation going on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram. KTN Life and Style is the hashtag. 22840 is a text message number. We take a short break, then come back. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah. You are my fire, the one desire, believe when I say I want it that way. But we are two worlds apart, can't reach to your heart when you say that I want it that way. visions around you bring tears to your eyes, and all that's around you are secrets and lies. I'll be your strength, I'll give you hope, keeping your faith when it's gone. The one you should call was standing here all alone. And I will take you in my arms and hold you right where you belong, until the day my life is through. This I promise you. This I promise you. I've loved you forever, in lifetimes before, and I promise you never will you hurt anymore. I give you my word, I give you my heart. This is a battle we won, and with this vow, forever has now begun. Just close your eyes, you should love it. And know this feeling won't go away, till the day my life is through. This I promise you. This I promise you. Over and over I fall when I hear you call. Without you in my life, baby, I just wouldn't be living at all. I will take you in my arms, hold you right where you belong, till the day my life is through. This I promise you, baby. Close your eyes, this loving this feeling won't go away. No, every word I say is true. This I promise you. Every word I say is true. This I promise you. Ooh, I promise you.
The problem with the men thinking that we are nagging is because we are emotional and them they are not. And we like to talk and they don't like to talk. So we are
I
always
think men are emotional too.
We are emotional.
I think they're so emotional. That's why they even pursued the lady. Because